I would say 60% of the problems, or even more, or 70% of the problems of the operation is about miscommunication and in between people. So if you are capable of providing the platform for them to work as a team, they are surprised. We all are surprised what you can do, how efficient you can be when you work as a team.
Hello 100X listeners. Today we're joined by Alejandro Fonseca, Group Chief Operating Officer of Emirates Stallions Group, ESG, a subsidiary of the international holding company IHC, a leading conglomerate across various sectors globally. With 27 subsidiaries across 5 industries, ESG is in different sectors like real estate development services, landscape and agriculture, manpower supply, and staff accommodation. With 20 years of experience across 12 countries, Alejandro brings expertise when it comes to architecture, combined with leadership experience and real estate development. And today he's going to discuss how he tackles challenges related to operations within ESG. Alejandro, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's great having you. So Alejandro, you're the COO of Emirates Stallions Group, ESG. Tell me the 30-second version of ESG. What does it do?
So ESG is a group of companies that provide service to real estate development sector. Also, we are specializing in manpower and staff and workers accommodation.
Okay, and what was your journey like ending up at ESG?
So my journey started 16 years ago when I arrived here in Abu Dhabi. I was living in Barcelona and I took, for 7 years, and I took an offer to come here to Abu Dhabi.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Mexico.
From Mexico. Mexico to Abu Dhabi, a long way.
Yes, yes.
And what did you study?
I studied architecture in Mexico, and then I went to Barcelona to study my doctorate degree in architecture.
Okay, so architecture to business. Walk me through that transition.
So after being here for 1 year, I was given the opportunity by His Highness Sheikh Tagnoon bin Zayed to start a new company, which was focused on project management and architecture. I was very fortunate to have him as a mentor and giving me this opportunity. I had no idea whatsoever about business, and then we started our first company there. After 2 years, we started doing projects abroad. We are currently doing projects in 14 different countries, and these projects were mainly related to hospitality and mixed-use development. So then we opened the second company, which was related to real estate development. This is a Royal Development Company, RDC. So we started doing projects in Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, Romania, Morocco, Maldives, Seychelles, Pakistan, Kazakhstan. So all over the place. And this is where we started the second company. And then after that, 4 years ago, we were given a second, I would say, and a very important task, which was to merge, my companies merged with another group of companies within the group. And we were given the mandate to get listed in the Abu Dhabi stock market. So we started 4 years ago, 7 companies. And now, after 4 years, now we're 23 companies within the Emirates Stallion Group.
So this is what I see as a big milestone, and you've accomplished a lot of things over all these years. Does this attribute to your experiences, because you come from an architectural background? Does your experience in architecture and in business and real estate, did you learn something from there that helped you with all of this expansion you just spoke about?
I would say it's all about the delivery. So being in architecture and real estate development, it's all focused about delivering projects, right? So it's about project management and getting a project from concept all the way to its completion. So I think that journey helps you navigate in order to take the right decisions and make everything in place to finish this project in time and in quality within the budget. So I think that helped me out in terms of the way to approach any company, because at the end of the day, you need to focus and you have a clear goal and to be able to reach that goal within.
Is architecture more creative than logical, would you say?
Definitely. I think it helps you out to be more creative in terms of approach and solving problems. So it's not only about design. I think it helps you out to see the projects from a different points of view and come up with creative ideas or solutions, or at least try to have them.
And that's what gave you the edge, right? Do you think so?
I think that helped me out a lot. Plus, I guess the most important thing is to have the right attitude. And, even if you don't know anything, I was very fortunate to have the guidance of His Highness and the opportunity to try to make it big, to start new businesses, and to follow his vision.
And in this journey, Alejandro, there's a lot of growth. Did challenges come with this growth? Did you face any hurdles on the way?
Definitely.
What are those?
I think failure is an option. Failure is always there. We just have to make our best effort to be able to overcome these challenges. Big of challenges were to work abroad in different countries, because you don't only face the normal challenge of any project or delivery of the project, but you face the challenge of the culture of the country. You face the challenge of the practice or the normal practice that they have in this in their countries. So that creates a lot of hurdles to be able to deliver a project. So it helps you become more patient, trying to put the best practices of the place and of other experience in other countries. So definitely there is challenges, I think, on day-to-day basis.
How do you deal with that challenge in a new country? How does that look like? You have a new country, new culture, new way to do work.
You have to adapt and be flexible. This is the only way to do it.
Is there like guidance you seek in that country? Is there?
Yeah, definitely. You have to study, and you have to see what worked in that country, what was the failure in that country, and to make your best effort to overcome those challenges. Definitely is there on day-to-day basis.
And Alejandro, you mentioned that you operate through different verticals. Now, as a Chief Operating Officer, COO, you're going through different sectors. How do you navigate through these? It's kind of overwhelming if you think about it.
Yeah, but if you see ESG, it's overall providing service to the real estate development cycle of a project. So we have a company that does project management and architecture. We have another company that provides development management services and client representation. We have another company which provides fit out and FF&E. We have another company that provides landscape, and several companies. So they're all within the real estate development cycle of the project. So for us, it's very simple. For us, it's very simple. If any company taps into that cycle, it's part of what we do on a normal basis on our project. And then from another hand, we have our main verticals, which is staff and workers accommodation. So that also, it's a part of the construction universe, and it's part of our day-to-day operations.
So you're saying as long as everything is in this construction universe, the operations become more seamless. It's easier because you've already seen different angles, so when you tackle a challenge, you can easily go on with there.
Yes, so eventually what we do on a group level, we support all the different companies and assure services. So for us, it's very simple to give them a support from a legal point of view, from a finance point of view, from a commercial point of view, IT and human resources. So we share the services throughout all the companies, and we just try to make sure that the day-to-day operations, it's as seamless as possible.
And it's been a very long journey, I'm seeing. What lessons do you think you've learned or taught you for them to be applicable and to help you with your career?
Never to give up. Always try to maintain the best attitude and work as a team. I think these are the three key points. And always collaboration. Always to collaborate within the people within your company, within their sister companies, and with our bigger company, which we belong to IHC. We are a subsidiary of IHC, International Holding Group, which is one of the biggest I would say, conglomerate in the UAE. So we always collaborate. It's a big family. It's an extended family, and we're very proud of being part of it.
And leading up to that, I'm sure your experience taught you these pillars: collaboration, working as a team. Did anyone have an effect on you, any individual, any, let's say, experience that helped you learn this on your journey?
Yes, first of all and foremost, His Highness Sheikh Tagnoon, which always has been a role model to me, and I would say to all of the people within our family. The IHC leadership, which have always supported us in the new ventures, in the challenges, and in this journey of throughout these 16 years. We're a big family, so we always find the right support on every challenge and every new venture that we come across.
Any key piece of advice from His Highness Sheikh Tahinoon?
Yes, never to hesitate, to try and as much as possible, and to always try to do your best.
Very good.
Failure is an option, and we have challenges every single day, and to try to overcome those challenges.
And this motivates you to go forward.
Definitely is what motivates us on a day-to-day basis.
And when it comes to technology, now we live in a world where there is a lot of AI and there's a lot of different integrations. And I'm sure the construction industry has to catch up, especially with real estate, with all this technology. Are you utilizing that in your work? Are you adopting that? And how is this changing the way you do work at ESG?
Throughout these 16 years, we have been fortunate to try different, as an example, construction systems. We have traveled all around the world to try to see what's the most efficient construction system to build new houses, from 3D printing to light gauge steels to neopore. We've tried it all. We have also done a team building exercise, and I remember several years back, His Highness gave us the task to build a house with our own hands and to do it
with your own hands.
System. Yes, and it was a very nice team building exercise.
Walk me through that, because it's very interesting.
So, in order for us to put any system out there, and in order for us to give this as an option, we need to first believe in it and to make sure that we're giving the right product or service to the end user. So what best to try it with your own hands to see if it's working. Everybody used to come and sell us the idea that it was the most efficient building system, the most cost effective. And it's only until you do it with your own hands and you try it yourself to be able to do it. And only therefore we adopted those systems. Only if we knew it with our own eyes and hands that it was working. If not, we will never adopt it because it will not be right for us. So he gave us the task to to try to find different building systems. And with different building systems, we build different houses. And we try to do our best. I still have some photographs for that.
Very interesting exercise, and I'm sure it helps you look at things from a different perspective when it comes to systems.
Yes. Also, because we always are in the forefront of trying to see all the information systems all around, and definitely now we're aligned with the UAE's vision for artificial intelligence. This is something that now it's a must that we have for us and for the future generations, and we're actively using it for the design, for the day-to-day operations. So this is something that we're using it more and more, and we're doing big efforts, not only as ESG level, but as an IHC level. We're trying to do our best.
What's an example that you see technologies being used effectively?
As an example, nowadays we do one design for a hotel, and you can ask artificial intelligence, provide me with different options with different styles of hotels, and it only takes a matter of minutes. But it's as good as the input that you're giving, right? So this is the crucial part, and we're learning, we're trying, but it's the technology advances so fast, and we're trying to do our best.
Since ESG is based in Abu Dhabi, and we know Abu Dhabi's culture when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, how has this influenced the growth and innovation when it comes to ESG's practices?
We have the advantage to be an Abu Dhabi-based company. And I think, and for us, it's very easy, first of all, and we're very focused on the in-country value. We always try to reach out to the companies that are based in Abu Dhabi. And it's a very easy environment to do business. I think there is a bad perception of the people from abroad of doing business in a Middle Eastern country, and specifically in the UAE or Abu Dhabi. And it's way much easier than what they expect. There's very good companies, there are very good individuals, very professionals, and it's very easy to do business with. You can reach out, it's a relatively small country and a city, and you can reach out everywhere. Somehow, somewhere, you will know somebody who knows the person. And within our IHG family, for us, it's very, very easy to do business with and to collaborate, not only doing business, with our sister companies within the IHG umbrella.
And has this business culture in Abu Dhabi, the one you just mentioned, impacted your decision making? Did it make you think differently when it comes to do business in Abu Dhabi?
Definitely. And not only for business, you can always reach out. This is the beauty of Abu Dhabi. You can always reach out for an advice, for business. If you want to meet with somebody, it's very easy.
And does this attribute to other places within the region, or is it specifically here?
For me, I have the experience of Abu Dhabi, and I always, I'm very proud to say it, that we're an Abu Dhabi-based company, and hopefully we're here for long.
And when it comes to all the experiences that you've accumulated, especially when it comes to your academia as well, you've done London Business School, you've done University of Liverpool, and we were just discussing how you went in for your doctorate as well, which is in architecture. Does this academia translate to your day-to-day decision-making as the CEO of the company?
Yes, it helps. I always like to study, and I'm always continuing to study. These courses. Now it's very, very easy to study online and this. So I started my doctorate degree, which I didn't finish my thesis. One day I will finish my doctorate degree.
Because
thesis.
You're busy with business.
No, because I had to move, and I moved to Abu Dhabi. But after studying my master's degree, after studying all these diplomas in these different institutions, for me it was very, very, very interesting to come to know, or I would say to validate what I was putting in practice on my day-to-day business. So it depends on what age you are in your life. That, as an example, if you're just beginning your business career, it's good to study something because not only it gives you good tools and theory, because of the networking. Now, as you get more experience, if you study, it just gives you more validation, more knowledge, and more support. So it's a different outcome, what you will get from the study, but definitely it's a complement. I would always suggest to people to do and to continue the studies. Always, never stop. Always, there's always something to learn.
But if a businessman had to choose one, to take in the experience or take in the academia, what would you say the answer is?
I would go back. I asked this question to His Highness, and I told him, Your Highness, I'm thinking of studying an MBA. He turned around to me, I remember, and he told me, there's not better experience than the real life and the real experience on a day-to-day basis.
Very true. Very true.
So I would say that it's a complement more than this. There's nothing more than, and I agree with him.
And do you think that what kind of things that you've been doing at ESG that fostered culture and innovation, and in order for you to become very different from the competition, becoming, this market is very competitive, how do you stand out?
You see, even though we're a big company, we are very flexible. We're very dynamic. So the decision-making process is very easy. Obviously, we all have some limits, and we take it. But there is always somebody who will listen to you. There is always a board that supports you. Our chairman is always very supportive, and we're always open to look for more opportunities. So this flexibility gives you a competitive advantage on the decision-making.
And are you focused on sustainability?
Yes, definitely. Sustainability is already embedded nowadays in our business.
How is it embedded?
I would put it as an example in the real estate developments that we do. You always have to have in mind what's going to be your impact in the community, in the society, how create sustainable communities, how your social responsibility impacts the community. All these things you have to, it's already there. So when we create a development, or we do communities or destinations, it's always in our minds what's going to be the impact on the country, on the city, on the local level. So we are always mindful of what would be the outcome of it. So we'll try to do our best.
So it's very important to
Definitely,
include sustainability.
it's key. Nowadays it's key.
And when it comes to advice you've got for leaders, now you're a leader yourself in this business industry. How about other leaders? What advice do you have for them to have that similar success that you've been facing?
It's all about team effort. Always listen to your team. It's not about one-man show. And to never hesitate and just jump into any challenge you have. Just take a risk.
Alejandro, you said that you are working across different operations in different countries, many countries. You work on an international level. I'm assuming there must be challenges or like a crisis that can happen every once in a while. Did this ever happen with ESG?
Yes, sometimes we are always exposed to different things that are happening in different countries, right? Or different crises. And we just have to try to overcome those challenges. As an example, the entire world was affected when the container crisis happened, and this affected us in terms of our delivery of some furniture for a hotel that we were opening. So we had to fly and to take air freight, all the FF&E that we needed for that hotel to be able to open in certain dates. So definitely you're open, and the more international footprint you have, the more exposed you are on things that happen in different countries. We have another instance in another country that we had a crisis and we had to stop for the project, to slow down the project for a while until the things got better in that country. As I said before, it's this ability that we have, and that you have to be flexible and to accommodate and try to see what's the best solution.
And you're working across also different time zones, so you might be working on it at 1 a.m., midnight, or different times.
That is before we changed the day work hours to like the rest of the world. Definitely, we used to work on Fridays, Saturdays, every day, and it's a challenge. But nowadays, with the new technologies and the Zoom call and this Teams meeting, it's easy to do it. We just have to organize the agendas. And nowadays, even artificial intelligence can organize your agenda to make sure that to accommodate the different times of different people.
Do you use AI on your personal day-to-day?
Yes, and more and more. The only thing, there's so many different tools and options, and they're getting upgraded. It's difficult to catch up. But definitely, or at least I'm trying. I'm trying to use it on a personal level.
And when it comes to ESG's expansion, and when you look at future plans, how do you determine this is a market we want to enter, or this is an industry we want to enter that's similar to what we're doing? What are the key deciding factors?
So we normally have our 5-year, 10-year plan. And as I mentioned before, it's more related to the development, real estate development services, right? So if it taps into this segment, let's say, we will actively look into it. Plus, we're also looking into reverse engineering. We need to see whether it's something that we are using, that we can invest on. So it's part of the overall value creation chain that we can give. We will look into it. And in terms of geographical zones of investing in different countries, we're open. Whenever there is opportunity, we will go and we'll look into it. We have our internal team that does the feasibility for any new business, and the opportunities come very often to us. And we just see it, we evaluate the opportunities, and we present it to the board, and if it's accepted, we will invest.
And when you're expanding and you're evaluating these opportunities, How do you have the confidence that, okay, we can enter, we can compete in that sector? Because of course, when you're entering a new area, you're going to have doubts.
Good question. You never have you don't have the crystal ball to make sure that it's going to be a successful thing. We try to always invest in companies where we can give added value. This is very important for us. It's not about a company that's making money or not. It's a company that there's a value creation. And if there is no value creation, we will not enter. This is probably we have it in better than us, and it's a mandate that we need to make sure that we create that added value to it. And so we can expand the business and we can reach to eventually make it more international than it's currently is.
And as a big company that's worth millions, are you afraid of a small company taking over?
Definitely, but you see that keeps you always alert. It's always to have competitors, and it's always good to know that and any time, any place, somebody can come and take over. So it's always good. We're always aware that this can happen, and we always try to do our best. You never know what's going to happen, but that's why we want to grow, and we want to have a cost-effective operation. And if at the end of the day, it's all about the product or service you provide. And if you have a good quality product service, it will never go wrong.
And how do you make sure of that? How do you make sure people innovate in your team rather than just follow the same routine?
We're very open in terms of giving the opportunity to all the employees to give ideas, to interact. We're more of a big family, so we always have the open door policies. Every idea, it's welcome. Every suggestion, everything. We are very open for that. So we evaluate that suggestion. We consider what's going to be the cost impact, what's going to be the advantage in the operations, and we try to implement it if it's possible, or at least we listen to the people and we try to work with them. Maybe it's something that's going to be a small impact, or it's going to be a potentially a big impact to the company. So we always are open for any suggestions.
Yeah, because it's important, because the people within the organization, as you mentioned, are the ones who know the real challenges that are happening day to day. So when they bring in ideas, they're mostly innovative.
Definitely, we always try to be very close to the employees, and this is as the company. I remember the time where we were below 30 in our company, and it was a very personal.
Below 30, what do you mean?
Very in terms of the amount of people working in the company.
Okay.
And
30, today they're at how
30.
much?
We're around 2,500.
So at one point you were handling the company when it's below 30 people.
Yes, and 30 to 45, it's very personal. You know everything. You spend so much time with the people, and it's beautiful. You spend so much time with the people. You know their families. You know everything. But as the company grow, it's you have to put different layers of management, and it becomes less personal. So that is the challenge. Always to try to maintain a link and to be close to the people. It's very important for us, the employees' well-being, and we're trying to focus on to make the best out of it. And to pass that, so this is cascaded down to all of our managers and to all the people to make sure that there is a good environment. Because we spend so much time together. It's more than in our houses, so it's a big family. So we try to do our best for that.
So you said you had 30 employees and now there are 2,500 employees. How do you make sure all of these employees feel like family, feel linked personally?
I think it's about communication and with the right example. We take care of everybody, regardless of their level or their position. We make sure that we are always there. And we try to make sure that with a good communication strategy and with our meetings with the managers of each company and the general manager of a company, to make sure that that is cascaded down. Because it's all about, we're a service provider and it's all about people. We need to focus on the people. And this is our greatest asset.
Because they're in the end, they're the ones providing the service.
You're absolutely right. So you have to take care of your greatest asset, which is the people. So this is something that we focus.
Do you know a story of maybe one employee who actually made a difference in your eyes? You've seen something incredible that come out from this person.
Yes, I've seen, we have a lot of success stories within and I'm very proud of that. People who started as a T-boy and then slowly prepare himself to learn the language, to learn the computer, to learn the systems. And it was an effort that he did himself, and it was the people around it. So I was very proud to see how he was progressing and we were following up his progression and his career, and then he became a part of the supporting the document controllers. He became a document controller, and at what point after 6 years he came and said, I just found a better opportunity, and I'm just here to tell you that I'll be moving. So it was I was very proud, because you're part of that. And he started as a T-boy, and now he provided the best for him and his family, and I wish him success, and he's still in contact with us. So we have several stories like that.
It's very inspiring to hear.
No, it's amazing. This is the best.
And in your career, did you, Alejandro, have one impactful decision that you made that made a big difference when it comes to the company?
It's all about a team. It's not my decision. I think it's more about providing the platform for the team to make the best decision. We all try to make our best efforts to come up with the right solution, and we take it. I think that's where I would say my contribution. It's all about creating a teams and a collaboration between all the people.
And I'm sure that handling a big organization comes with its own responsibility, stress, even if you have that collaboration involved. How do you balance between your work and your personal life?
I love my work. So for me, it's not, I would say, it's not like working. For me, it's I love it. So I enjoy it. Every single time, every day I wake up and I thank God that I have this opportunity. So balance is, I have a good support from my family, from my wife and my son. They inspire me to go and work every day. And I'm very thankful to this country and to their leaders, because this opportunity that they give me, it's just amazing. So for me, going to work, it's just, I love it. Sometimes it's a Sunday and I go and pass to the office to check if there is something I can do, or I'm just kind of nervous, and my wife always says that, you want to go back to your office, right? You can't wait. I said, yeah, true. And I admit it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is the love that comes with business.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You have to love what you do.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the trick in life, to be happy.
Alejandro, I want to go back to ESG structure. You've got real estate development services, you've got the landscape agriculture, you've got manpower. It's a big structure. Just walk me through it, like how every sector is handling its own, how every company is independent on its own. Are there any links together?
So we have ESG group, which is handling, like I mentioned before, all the supporting services, which is commercial, finance, IT, HR. These are shared services that are common with all of our companies that we have. So, but at the end of the day, we make sure that each company is independent, right? And I'll give you an example of how this is integrated. We have a company, which is Royal Development Company, RDC, who does development management of and client representation. Imagine we have a hotel, and we just recently finished one hotel we're about to finish one hotel in Seychelles. This development management company puts the entire development in place for finding the land, making sure that we have the right and the highest and best use of the land, setting up the structure, the legal structure, the finance structure because it's specific for each country. Once the development cost plan is there and the client approves it, this company makes sure that they tender it, and they for the construction, they invite different companies. Now, if in this case, one of our companies, Decovision, it's an expert in terms of fit out and furniture. So this company has done the Presidential Palace, Etihad Towers. We just recently refurbished the Emirates Palace. So this is a company that it specializes in high-end hotels and palaces. So we invite this project development company, gives opportunity as any other company, and invites this company to bid for the project. We try to maintain the independence of each company because we need to make sure that we are always competitive. So if they have the right price and they have the right quality and they pass the technical commercial proposals, they will be invited and there will be this. So it's these companies at the end of the day integrate in the entire development. The other company, Golf Dunes, we have it's the biggest landscape company in Abu Dhabi, for one of the biggest ones. So also if there is some landscape works, they will be invited, and if they have the right price and they're competitive, they will give them the opportunity. So you see, we integrate. We try to. They're all independent, and they're all integrated. Or I'm sure you know about 2XL. We just recently acquired the Afkar Group, which is 2XL and OC Furniture. So these are companies. These are retail furniture companies, because the furniture is there. We are doing hotels, so for us, it's very simple to invite them and to specify furniture and try to see if there is an opportunity for them to be in the hotels. So as you can see, everything is integrated. So even though you see that we're across the board, they can all be integrated and to be part of it. Sometimes not all of the companies, some of the few companies, right? And then in terms of the workers' accommodation, we own 24% of Kisar communities, which has the biggest workers' accommodation bed spaces in Abu Dhabi. It's a big. So, but also, since we have that, it makes sense for us to have a focus on them. We just recently acquired UIG, which is a manpower supply company. So we have the people, we have the accommodation. So for us,
it's a good mix.
It's a good mix. So we always try to find the right mixes in all the businesses that we invest or that we acquire.
And how do you split your day managing the operations of these different companies?
Good question. We always try to plan together with the CEO of the company, Mr. Khair. We always try to plan ahead our week or in the next weeks, and we try to give enough time to each of the companies to make sure that we are focusing on their day-to-day operation, because we're involved very into detail. We review their operation, we review their plans, we oversee the budgets, and it's not only as an investor, we're not a passive investor, we are really into the operation of these companies, and we try to give added value to it. So with the correct support, these companies are, and they have a good product or service, it's only one way to grow and to become leaders in the market on whatever we're doing. That's our strategy.
And sometimes when businesses acquire companies, these companies feel like they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be thrown into a certain direction, even though you might have good intentions. You want that company to grow. That's why you acquired. How do you break that barrier when it comes to the communication with these companies?
You just said it. It's about communication. It's about understanding what's the business needs, what is the need out there in terms of what is the demand for it, and see how we get from point A to point B, and in the most cost-efficient way. Definitely, I think it's the mindset of the people. But slowly, you start to collaborate with these new companies, and you have to make sure that even before the acquisition of these companies, if the management do not click, it's very difficult to make a business work. So even from the due diligence, even on initial conversations of acquiring a company or not, you always see if your partner, at the end of it, is going to be your partner. So, and we're here for the long term. It's not about so if they don't have the right mindset or they're not open for growth and they're not sure about your added value or the added value as ESG can provide to them, then maybe it would not be the right fit. If they don't value what ESG can do for them, and it would be very difficult. You just touch a very key point. It's about always to see if the other party, or also we're open and we have the same values and the same mindset to grow the business.
Is there a specific question you ask these companies before you acquire them? Something that is in common with every company you think of acquiring?
I would say, I will tell you the other way around. One question that always these companies ask us, are you guys here for the short or the long term? What's your strategy? See, we're from Abu Dhabi base. We're here for the long run, right? So, and this makes them very comfortable, because nowadays a lot of people are just here just to buy, invest, and then they invest. No, we're for the long run, and that makes that very comfortable. So I would say that's one key question of it. And then the other questions are always about why you want to exit or this. We always try to, when we invest in companies, to make sure that the founder or the management are there. We try to have a majority stake, but always not 100%. We want to make sure that the person who has the expertise stays there.
Alejandro, you mentioned previously that one of the most important advice you got was failure is fine. You will always fail and you need to learn from it. Tell me about one loss or one failure that happened and what it taught you when it comes, for example, acquiring these companies, or when it comes to any operations that happens day to day.
See, when you are in the project management and when you're delivering a project, it's all about delivering in time, with quality, and within the budget. Sometimes, not because of you, but because of the others, you have problems with the contractors. There's nothing you can do with it. And this happened to us in different countries. And it's a challenge. It's a day-to-day. There's so much you can do, but at the end of the day, you're not the one building it. So you're always at the mercy of somebody else. It's about your management. And sometimes it's not in your hands, and you fail. Regardless of what's the cause of what makes you the delay on the project. And this is the worst you can say. When you are promising on one delivery date and you do not meet the date, because you're as good as the last project you deliver in our business. So this is it becomes your obsession to make sure that you deliver on time. And if you open your mouth and promise something, you better do it, because it's your word, it's a company that you're representing. So this is probably the biggest, I would say, challenge or failure. Once you miss a deadline, that's it. And it's not only the deadline to deliver the project when you hand it over to the operator and you open it for the public. It's that you always have milestones, and this is the beauty of our work. You establish the milestones, and there are certain milestones you have to meet. And once you miss one or two milestones, you know that milestone will affect you at the end. So you always try to mitigate that delay. And there's so many ways to mitigate that delay. So, but that's why monitoring the milestones throughout the process of the construction is key. And to be hands-on. You cannot just leave it on. You have to make sure that it works. So I guess that's a failure. I feel it like a failure. Every time you promise something and you did not deliver on time, and I would not say if it's not within budget, that's even worse, because you have a responsibility there.
And when it comes to the operations and the headache you just mentioned, when it comes to project management and delivery, what do you think there are misconceptions about operations and business? What do people think about operations which is actually not true? And what do you have to say to that?
I think people would not imagine how important it is to maintain a good environment or friendly environment for people to work in. Making people work as a team, it's I think the biggest. I don't think people would imagine how important it is. I would say 60% of the problems, or even more, or 70% of the problems of the operation is about miscommunication and in between people. So if you are capable of providing the platform for them to work as a team, they are surprised. We all are surprised what you can do, how efficient you can be when you work as a team. See, this is the thing, because people focus on the operation. And it's more okay. You have to make sure that the cost you have efficiencies, and you take care of the cost, right? But it's all about people. It's all about people. If you create the right platform for people to work, I would say it's a guaranteed success.
And how do you make that platform?
Just by being open and making them know that we care about them. We are a big family. You care about your family. I care about my family. Okay, not all the families, not all of the members of the family we have different minds, different ways of doing. Now, the challenge here is also there's different cultures. We have around, I'd say more than 27 nationalities.
It's a very diverse group.
A very diverse group. We always focus. This is something also we're always monitoring. The diversity in gender and also in diversity in culture. So sometimes different cultures, we are different. So it's hard, but it's not impossible. And once you make it right, it's amazing to see what's the outcome of it.
And if you could say one strategy that you implemented, Alejandro, one strategy that people should implement when it comes to operations, what would it be?
To know what you want. The biggest problem nowadays is people don't know what they want. So if you have clear what you want or where you want to be, at least trying to reach to that goal, it's the key. And if you put a strategy towards reaching there, even if you not reach to your goal, I think that process and that journey will be sufficient as to put a strategy together in order to reach your goal. So even if you don't reach the final goal, but at least you can focus your strategy towards that one. And this is, I think, now the most difficult part of this. People don't know what they want. So if you're fortunate enough to have a team that help you out to put to know what you want and to put the strategy to reach that goal, you're halfway there.
And how do you attract that sort of team? How do you find that talent to begin with?
That's the biggest challenge, to find the right people. But I guess we all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. This is something that we have to be aware of. All of us have limitations. So if we put the best out of all, I think the outcome it will be the correct one. But knowing that you're not perfect, and we all have our limitations, so we will work with our limitations, and we'll try to make the best out of it. This is good. It's all about team. Believe me, it's all about people. And we're a service provider, so we have to focus on their well-being.
Great services are built by great teams.
I completely agree with that.
Thank you, Alejandro, for being with us today.
Shukran.
Thank you for watching us. Feel free to share your feedback and connect on our platforms. If you know someone with an inspiring story, email us at 100x.abudhabi@gmail.com. Stay tuned for more uplifting business tales.